All right.
Hello, we are going back to 1902 when Theodore Roosevelt was president and discussed one of the events that happened, very important events that happened during his presidency. I have come to talk to you as your president. As you can see, I am still in this wheelchair due to the accident here in Pittsburgh just last month, where my carriage was hit by that dreaded trolley car. But that is not what I have come to talk to you about today. I have come to talk to you about the event that greatly threatens this country, the coal strike. As if it is not resolved, man, women, and child may die in their houses due to the cold, and factories may shut down because they also fully run off of coal. The miners, they are demanding higher pay, less hours, and no fiddling with the scales. As I have heard, for every 3,000 pounds of coal that is removed from the mines, they only get paid for a ton, shorting them 1,000 pounds of coal. I have also looked into the conditions at the mines. And they say that the whole lives are controlled by the operators of the mines, from the housing they live in to the stores that they shop in, where they are overcharged, leaving them in debt to the companies that they live in. And when they venture into the mines, they only have candlelight or the oil lamps that hang on their helmets or their hats to be able to see. And it's very dangerous, as the beams can fall down and trap them inside of the mines. And then there are the gases. Yes, they have to carry canaries into the caves. And if that canary dies, they have to leave immediately, because it's a sign that there might be gases inside of that cave. When I looked into what I could do, I was told I did not have the constitutional right to do anything. But I know that you, my people, would want me to do something. And so I have been working on a solution. At first, I asked Mr. Mark Hanna, he's the senator from Ohio, if he could interfere in the matter. He tried, or I asked him, because he was able to resolve the coal strike back in 1900. By telling the operators that higher pay would be good insurance against the possible election of Mr. Bryan. Mr. Bryan was running for the presidency for the second time against McKinley. Why, it was even rumored that the miners had gone on strike in favor of the election of Mr. Bryan, and the operators of the mines had given in to higher wages. But this time they would not. They said that the very reason that this coal strike had happened in the first place was because they had given in so easily in 1900. My first plan had failed. However, I did not stop. My next plan was, I invited the president of the United Mine Workers Union and the operators of the mines to the temporary White House. It was temporary because my wife, Edith, was currently working on remodeling the White House. I do not fully understand why the White House needed remodeled, but what Edith wants, Edith gets. For that is good policy right there. Well, at the meeting, I introduced the meeting by saying that I neither had the constitutional right nor the constitutional duty to do anything at all. But I was asking them to try to work together for the greater good of this nation. The president of the United Mine Workers brought up that he thought a tribunal to arbitrate the matter would be a good idea, and that I would come up with the members of that tribunal. And I thought that was a good idea, but the operators of mines completely disagreed. They said that it was all my fault that this strike had lasted so long, that I should have brought in the military. that I should have forced the miners back into working. Why, this angered me greatly, and if I were not in this wheelchair, I would have picked every one of them up by the seat of their breeches and the nape of the neck and thrown them right out the window. Well, something has just fallen. I'm sorry. I tried to work further, and I created another plan why I decided that I would quietly, but not so quietly, that the operators of the mines would not hear the sabers rattling, to take in the military and take the mines away from the operators and get the miners back to work. I sent the Secretary of War to J.P. Morgan, as he is in constant contact with the operators of the mines, and told him the situation. And the operators were willing to bend just a little bit. They were willing to set up a panel to arbitrate the matter, but only by men of their choosing. The president of the United Mine Workers were not willing to do this, set up that committee, because the men were only of the operators of the mines. However, I was able to find two people that both sides would accept into the panel. And I do not yet understand exactly how it will be resolved, but I guarantee you I will use the full force that I have to make sure that you have coal for the winter, for your houses, and for the factories.